One of the things that I like most about the Adobe Kuler app, now called Adobe Color, is that it speaks to the fine artist in me, as well as address very practical needs for me currently as a graphic designer. In this brief tutorial, we will explore the Adobe Color interface, capture colors from an existing image, save an original color swatch theme. We will also learn to adjust the color swatch, and finally we will capture color swatches using the mobile app of Adobe Kuler and save them into our personal Adobe account. The Adobe Color program is a free app for your mobile device that you can download from the App Store as well as access online. This allows you to generate color themes as well as capture color combinations for your iPhone or your iPad. You can also use them in your present and future projects by saving them to Adobe Creative Cloud libraries or syncing them with the Adobe Color service for others to use. In that respect, the use of the Kuler app is very much a collaborative relationship, as you can use and allow others to use the color swatches that are created here and remove the guesswork of consistently matching colors on projects for both you and your students. Today I'm going to take you through a brief tour of the interface and what makes it so useful to you and your students' design, and also makes it just very cool to use. Please excuse me if I use Adobe Color and Kuler interchangeably. Though they're different names, they're the same program, but I admittedly am very partial to the name Kuler because, well, it's cooler. Here we have the main Kuler page, which shows you what it is and a brief intro into what it can be used for and how to access it through the App Store. Let's look at the Kuler online interface. Here we have the online interface and all of the useful features it has to offer. Listed on the screen is the address to access the website. As I mentioned, since it is a free service, you have access to the wealth of its power here, but having the app access as well does extend your ability to use it, and the Adobe account also allows you to save the swatches you create and import them into many of the Adobe programs that you're using in your classroom and in your own projects. On the main toolbar, you have the Create button, which is where you are now. This allows you to create and modify the color swatches that you create, as well as modify existing swatches and save them for use for yourself and others. Under the Explore button, you have access to the already existing color swatches already created by Adobe Kuler users. As I roll over each of these swatches, you can see that you have the ability to do a couple of things on each. You can get quick information on this color swatch, edit it for your needs, copy the location for future access, download it into a file format which can be imported into many of the Adobe programs and used at your leisure. And for users with an Adobe account, you can favorite the scheme for future use. Let's look at the info screen. Here you see, under Actions, a few of the options I just spoke of. Adding to favorites, sharing the scheme, a new option, the ability to download it, and the option to report abuse for our naughty users. As you can see under the info section, the info is available on who created the swatch, who has accessed it, and who's made it one of their favorites. Kuler has the swatches created and categorized based on the type of use they're getting. Most popular links, the swatches most used, and a random showing of swatches available. As I mentioned previously, that under My Themes, you can save any swatches that you create from scratch or edit as your own color themes. This one I use regularly for design work for my fraternal organization, so having it saves me from having to recreate or guess the exact color makeup. Let's click Create and recreate the steps to see how I saved the color swatch for Kappa style. This is where Kuler really earns its name. When we go back to the color screen, we click on the camera icon here, what allows us to pull up a color swatch from an existing image. On my desktop, I've saved a screenshot of the national website for my fraternal organization, which is where the colors from my Kappa style scheme came from. Here we're going to select a file, then open it. The screenshot is pulled in with a couple of color nodes on the image which correspond to the scheme below it. As I pull the nodes across the screen, the color corresponding with its present placement is changed to the color that you're moving it to. Once you get the colors to where you like them, in this case, close to the color swatch most readily associated with Kappa Alpha Psi, you change the name to something more fitting. In this example's case, Test 7, and then click Save. Since I already have a copy I'm happy with, I won't save this one. What I want to do now is go to the Explore button and share how to adjust my color swatch in Kuler. First, we click on a color swatch we like and select the Edit option. This takes us back up to the Create section of the website that we started on originally. We also see the color swatches and where the colors appear in the color wheel. For educators and fine artists, the next change to the scheme is very familiar to you. Under typical color rules, you can make a full change of your color scheme by clicking on the color rules available: analogous, triad, complementary, compound, shades, and custom, where you can make your own setup. Above the color swatches is the color wheel. And except for just a few minutes ago, we haven't really talked very much about it until now. But as you can see, the swatches in the theme are positioned exactly where their shade would appear in the color wheel. As you move the color node's position, it changes the colors in your theme, so you can really personalize a color theme to your liking. As you move the node to a different color, the swatch it corresponds to changes in your theme, so you always know by looking just what your color scheme will be. Very cooler. Very cool. Adjusting the nodes here affects the concentration of the color in CMYK, which are the four colors that all colors that are created from in print design. If you notice at the bottom of the page, under each swatch, as the color changes, the numbers under it change. Under this window, you should be able to get an exact number on how to reproduce the colors in CMYK, RGB, Lab, HSB, and hexadecimal for those creating online. In addition to familiarizing students with the multiple ways to reproduce the same color for their work, it also makes the remaining colors consistent. As we discussed before, Kuler is accessible both online and as a mobile app available through the App Store. Since it is reasonably assumed that downloading an app from the Mac Store is common knowledge, it's something I won't cover here. What I wanted to do is give you a brief visual of the mobile interface for the device so that you're able to see the similar functionality in the app to capture and manipulate swatches. Here we have my iPhone and the app already preloaded into it. Just for the sake of familiarizing yourself with the interface, I'm just going to scroll through the couple of intro pages so you can see just what the app normally would show you when you open it up. Since the ability to sync information across devices allows access to your Adobe account, I'm going to sign in now. Once I allow my phone to access my camera, as I move my phone across the room, The color nodes that we work with on the website version are present here as well, and as I move my camera, they move as well, attempting to capture the colors in front of it. The swatches will be created once I snap a photograph. Each time the camera's position rotates, the colors change to match what the camera is looking at. In this case, my wife's stuffed animals. You can save the theme and share it here. Once the picture is snapped, the color scheme was captured. Like the website version, you can adjust the swatches on the color wheel and it changes the color theme accordingly. In the bottom right corner, you can adjust the colors based on the color rules that we learned about on the website. In the top right corner, you can adjust the color values in RGB and hexadecimal. Clicking the plus at the bottom of the screen allows you to capture a color theme from a new picture using your camera, from the existing pictures on your camera roll, or for our Creative Cloud users, accessing images already saved to your Creative Cloud and pulling colors from those images and making your own swatch pattern. By default, when you capture the color swatches and click the check mark at the bottom of your screen, you can then save the theme name and, if necessary, share access to the theme by email, Facebook, or Twitter. All of the themes either made or altered and saved as a new theme are available under the My Library tab at the top of the screen. At this time, let's go back to the website interface to see if we have access to the themes that we've added here. Due to the connection in my account with Adobe, I'm able to access the color themes that I've added through my iPhone, and let's take a look. Let's scroll up to my themes, and here we are, the two additional themes that we've created in the mobile app. During this brief tutorial, we have explored the Adobe Color interface both online and in the mobile app. We've learned how to capture colors from an existing image and save an original color swatch theme. We've learned to adjust the existing color swatches and resave them for future use. And finally, we've learned to capture color swatches using the mobile app of Kuler and save them into our personal Adobe account for both use on desktop and the mobile version of the app. I think you'll agree that whatever name you call it, Adobe Color or Adobe Kuler, this app really does allow for color theme management of projects and makes it very effortless. It also can make education of color theory using the electronic media that much cooler. Thanks for watching.